Hi, I'm Josh and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing the new Library of America edition of Octavia E. Butler's standalone works. So if you aren't familiar with Library of America, they're this non-profit organization which essentially publishes classic novels in a consistent format. This is one of the main formats. You look at the Baldwin edition here, or its earliest novels. Well, this is generally what you see, a photo of the author, and then you'll see this sort of same sort of pattern and font with a list of what's in the actual work. And then it's sort of very thin pages, almost like, your traditional Bible you'd see at a church, as well as it would add in some commentary and some notes and some chronological details at the end. And when I found out that they were publishing a Octavia Butler edition, I was a little disconcerted because I was like, this has 2 novels. She has way more novels than that. And that was when I realized she's only published 2 standalone novels. So it kind of makes sense for them not to try and include all of her works in this one collection. I don't know if they'll try to do another one, considering the fact that I've also been seeing her works, her series be re-released. That is, say, the Apparatus series, the Parable series, and also the Xenomorph series, I think is what it's called. I haven't read that one or any of that yet. But this collection is a new collection that was published just this January 2021. And I was granted an ARC by NetGalley, so I thought I would stop and review it. I'll go ahead and tell you, I do love the edition, and I'll tell you why in a second. And I've actually already ordered my own edition set. Now, I'm not waiting to show you because it's Library of America. I live in Canada, so I won't be able to pick it up for my family for quite a while. So I thought I would go ahead and give my review because they gave me a PDF of the actual work, so I was able to see how it was formatted. And I did really like how it was all presented. We have her 2 standalone novels, which it makes sense to include those since, like I said before, they are contained, they're standalone, as opposed to being a part of a big series. And then we have all of the stories and essays that were included in her one short story collection, Bloodchild. And if you want to aware, Bloodchild was actually published twice, I think in 1999 and again in 2015, where they added at least one more story. All those stories in both editions are in this set, as well as at least one short story that was published in, I think it was her first short story, and it has never been published in Bloodchild or any other collected works. So this is like one of the few places you can actually get it. On top of that, I think there might be at least 1 or 2 essays that will not publish in Bloodchild that are also included here. So this is considered like a comprehensive work of all of her standalone essays, short stories, and novels. I think that alone, even with just the standard works, is still something to really want if you're a big collector of Octavia Butler's works. But then you have the added layer of the extra works that aren't up to date published, also included in here, that I think make it really even more appealing. Then add in the extra traditional things that you see in Library of America, and it becomes like a no-brainer. We have a chronology? No. We have a timeline, basically, at the back, where it outlines points in her life, significant points in Octavia Butler's life, as well as her writings and her publications. So that's something I think anyone who's really interested in studying Octavia Butler would want to see. Then we also have an introduction by the authors, who I'm not sure what the names are, but here's the cover, of course. From what I read the introduction. It was really interesting discussion of Butler. And then on top of that, we also have notes at the end of the entire work that refer to all of the things that are discussed. And I'm not sure if it's commentary from the authors or if it's commentary they found from Butler about the works, or maybe it's a mesh of both. I think it's the latter there, like the mesh of both. But the point is that this is an opportunity to read these novels or to get an insight into these with a new layer of understanding of what was in the back of Octavia Butler's mind while you read it. And it has the beautiful layout and format of your standard Library of America edition. I just found out about Library of America last year. I have now have my own membership with them, which means that I can order these editions at cheaper price, and I can also get the hardback without the paper, like a professional container, for even cheaper when I do order it. Naturally, I went ahead and I bought this because I really wanted to have it on hand. Now, I'll go ahead and tell you, full disclosure, I have not read all of the works in here. I did not read the chronology, the timeline, and I didn't read all the notes. I did read the introduction, and of course I've already read Fledgling and Kindred, the 2 novels that are in there. And as far as when it comes to reviewing her work, I do think I'm familiar enough to say for sure that I absolutely recommend buying Octavia Butler if if for some reason, in some way, you never read Octavia Butler, you absolutely should. There's no question about that. But I decided to do this review mostly or formatted centrally around the actual edition, because that's what we're talking about here, is the Library of America edition, not necessarily Octavia Butler's works as they stand. Now, if you need extra information there, her books are amazing. She is the epitome of writing with intent, with this message in the back of her mind and a message inside of what she is writing. The goal is to get you to think, to force you not just to consume mindlessly. And there are so many layers to what she writes, so many different topics she explores, and it is just so fascinating. And Kindred is probably my favorite book of all time. If not, it's in the top 5 or top 3. So I can absolutely recommend her works. And I will eventually and slowly read all of her work, which is what I'm doing with the Octavia Butler Slow Read. But I do not see the point of rushing to do that. So that is essentially my review. I absolutely recommend this edition. You can get it for $30, maybe $35, either on Amazon or on the Library of America site. If you don't have a membership, if you do the membership, which I think costs $25 or $50 a year, you can get it like $5 cheaper, and also you can get like a more professional, like long-term edition. I wish I had a copy to show you, but it's just, you know, one of those things where you have a hardback like the one you see here, but with like a cardboard case to put around it so that it ensures that it lasts. Quite frankly, I do prefer the black sleeves because they look better on a shelf personally, but I do also like the idea of having a more formal collection that will last the test of time. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this review useful. I was really unsure how to approach this review, or if I was even going to do one, because of the fact that there's so much in the collection I haven't read, but I think there's plenty to talk about here and plenty to love, even without having read the entire collection. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and as always, hope you all stay safe, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.